Today we're going to try out Adobe Firefly together, and that's Adobe's new AI tool or suite of AI tools that's going to be really innovative and creative. It's currently still in beta, but it still already has some really nice and exciting features that we could utilize for print on demand. So one thing to note about Adobe Firefly is that it's currently in beta and you can't sell any of the artwork that you generate with it. However, the cool thing is you can try this out for free even if you don't have an Adobe license, if you're not paying for it. So Adobe Firefly invite request, this is a page I'm going to leave in the description for you. So all you have to do here is just scroll down, you put in your name and your Adobe ID, which you can get by just signing up to a free account, your region, then you have to tick a few checkboxes right here in terms of what you have experience with, whether you do video editing, web apps, photo editing, etc., graphic design. So just fill this out and tell them what you want to use generative AI for, and then you can submit your request essentially to get access to Adobe Firefly. I did this as well, and it took me about, I think it was between 1 and 2 weeks to get granted access, and yeah, then you can start playing around with their tools. There's only 3 right now, as you're going to see, but they're developing a whole host of different AI tools which look really exciting and really powerful. So here we are on a Firefly informational page, which I just wanted to show you because there's some really cool examples of how we will be able to use Firefly in future once all of it is developed. So this example is quite good, where you can see that you can highlight a certain area of an image and change just that area, or you can even paint in new objects right here to add to an image and expand it further in a sense. So that's definitely really cool. As you can see right here, it's adding an underwater city. This one as well, if you've ever done logo design, which is something I actually did a few years back, then this is super handy. So if you've done sketches, you can quickly turn them into an actual vector artwork to save you a ton of time there, and it looks like it could work really well. So very impressive, innovative things that they're coming up with right here and developing right now, which I haven't really seen any of the other AI tools do. And there's another page as well right here, which is the actual beta page, where you've got the 3 tools that are currently available to try out. We've got text to image, text effects, which is really cool, and recolor vectors. But on here you also see some of the actual tools they're developing right here. So in painting, that's what we saw sort of with the underwater city right there. We've got text to vector, which I think that'll be game changing. If you can create actual vectors just through a text prompt, that'll be so good. And we've got text to pattern that we know from some of the other tools out there. There's a nice video right here as well that showcases a lot of what's in development, but let's jump into the text to image editor and actually see what this looks like. As soon as you click into the text to image generator, you'll be met with tons and tons of images. This is essentially like the community page where you can see what other people have created. You will get some inspiration for your own prompt, because if you hover over any of these images, you will see what the prompt was to help generate these images. And if you want to start writing your own, you just click into this white text box at the bottom, and then you can put whatever. Let's start off with something easy like cat wearing a cowboy hat, for example, and then you hit generate over here on the right hand side. You get 4 options with Firefly, same with Midjourney, and you've got on the right hand side, you've got a toolbar in a sense of different effects and styles to add to your prompt to help it, to make it more user-friendly in a sense, to build your prompt more easily. Rather than with Midjourney, you have to do a lot of the writing yourself without any presets. And here we can see the result for cat wearing a cowboy hat. Looks quite decent. And at the top right, we can also select the aspect ratio. There's only 4 options right now, but once again, this is just the beta. Content type, you can change it from art, which is the default, to photo, for example, and then it's going to rerun in a photographic style. Graphic is an option as well, which from my experience looks the closest to a t-shirt design style in a sense. And once they've been generated, you can also quickly flick back to the previous styles. So as you can see right there, it instantly changes, and it is that exact image, just in a slightly different style. It's not like it's reconsidering the entire scene. It's just making minor changes in a different content style in a sense. And next up, you've got a whole set of styles right here. It's by default default it's unpopular. So you've got synthwave, neon, chaotic. So you've got a few examples here with this balloon, shows you what it's going to look like. You can change between movement, themes, techniques, effects, or just show them all in one go. And then when you go through this, you can just click on one that interests you, let's say pixel art, and it will be added to your prompt at the bottom right here. You can add multiple ones as well. It doesn't just have to be one. So bold lines, we could add that to it as well. And then you can hit generate again to recalculate these images. And if you want to add some color and tone, you've got the option here as well. So we could add vibrant color, lighting, and composition. It's not too important, I would say, for print on demand purposes at least, but for photography, something like this could be quite important as well. You get the different angles that the subject is essentially being shown from. Now, pixel art did not turn out very well. Let's take that back out and actually try a different style. So how about vector look? That's something which I would assume would help you get more of a t-shirt design feel. So let's see what vector look actually comes back with. It looks okay, not amazing, especially compared to Midjourney, but I haven't been using this for long anyway. I've played around with it a little bit, but I definitely don't know how to configure these prompts effectively to get really good results yet. So maybe it's just down to me not selecting the right styles here. But nevertheless, it's interesting to see that Adobe Firefly has sort of a different layout with preset styles, but you can obviously also write a more detailed prompt and take some of these out. So let's try that as a comparison. Let's do cat wearing a cowboy hat in a kawaii style, isolated on a white background. We could put cute cat as well and hit generate. That's the sort of prompt I might try in Midjourney and probably get some decent results back from. And here, they're okay. They're not amazing. Maybe change this to graphic because it was set to art. And there we go. I mean, the bottom right is okay, but I wouldn't say any of these are necessarily very usable for t-shirts. But still interesting to try this out. I mean, it's only in beta. It is to be expected that it's not perfect, right? I'm pretty sure once they actually launch this and maybe bring out the first few iterations of it, it will probably be amazing because Adobe has got really big resources and very creative minds, and they are one of the leading digital design tools out there. So if we go back now and go back again, we can go into the text effects section, and that is actually, I think, already very useful for print on demand. So as you can see right here, you could essentially create text or individual letters, as we can see in the examples, that is filled in with different things. So here we've got a realistic tiger fur, we've got chocolate chip cookies, what's this, holographic dripping color. So you can write some text down here into this prompt field, like mom, for example, if you wanted to do a Mother's Day design, and then describe in this next section what the word mom or the letters are going to be filled out with. So if you've got a mom that likes flowers, then maybe you just put flowers into here, hit generate. Obviously that's very basic, but it's just to show you an example of what this is going to look like. You've got some sample effects as well over here. If you click view all, then there's quite a lot to choose from. We've got the cookies down here, ice cream, orange donut. This gives you some good inspiration as well as to what to actually put into the prompt. Now, looking back at our word, this does look quite interesting. Some of the flowers look a bit wonky. You have got some more settings over here in terms of the tightness. So if you select loose fit for the text, then you're going to have some flowers sort of spurting out, and it's not going to stick to the word mum as directly. As you can see, there's some sort of branches coming off right here, and if you select tight, then it's obviously going to stick to your letters way closer. You can change the font as well. There's different font options right here. Background color is set to transparent by default, and that's what would be most useful, I think, for print on demand. If you use this on a t-shirt, well, you can't do it with the beta at the moment. You're not allowed to sell these, but once you are allowed to sell them, I think this could be a really useful effect to draw some attention to your shirt on like a big word like the word mum. Or let's say, for example, you want to create a design for a farmer, right? So you put farmer right here, and let's say a sub niche of farming, like I don't know, a corn farmer, something like that. Is that a thing? I don't even know exactly, but you get the gist there. Like a specific type of farmer, maybe fill the word out with what they do, and then you've got yourself quite a neat design right there that you could even add some text to. You could put like retired at the top, or like use a funny phrase around it to do with corn farmers. You've also got the option down here to try a different alignment with these corns. So you can see a preview right there. They're not all the same. Now, sometimes they do look a bit wonky, so you're going to have to test out what works best. Some of these look more like worms, to be honest. So maybe corn is not the best option right here. I wonder what it turns out like if you put in cows. Can you imagine that would be quite distorted? But if you've got a cow farmer, yeah, it is quite distorted. That does look funny. So yeah, I think you get the gist as to how this works. There is going to be topics that work better than others, like animals, as you can see, do not work very well. But overall, I think this can really give you some nice effects. Like we could do neon lights. I know that doesn't really suit farmers, but that probably will look better in a sense. Let's select a background color as well. There we go. That's quite cool. Right, so you can essentially test what it would look like on different t-shirt colors. Say like the light blue on merch by Amazon, that looks quite cool. And yeah, I mean, I think you can see right there that this tool is quite good and will probably help us create some nice looking t-shirt designs in the future. And the last one, recolor vectors, is not game changing, but still it can save you some time if you've got a vector file with tons of different colors and you just want to create it in various different color schemes. So once you've opened this tool up, all you have to do is drag and drop an SVG file into this. I'm just trying to find one. I've just downloaded something from Vexels that has quite a lot of colors and is quite intricate. This is like a skull graphic and a bit like a cottagecore theme. And then once you've uploaded the SVG, all you have to do is enter a description for the color palette that you would rather have. So there's some examples right here. Sweet desserts. We've got sakura in the snow, earthy tones, soft pastels, coral reefs. So I don't know. Let's do something like tropical summer colors. I don't know. Let's hit generate and let's see what Adobe Firefly comes back with. Once again, you have got some presets over here that you can quickly access, and some more settings in terms of the harmony as well as colors right here. Now, I do think what came back right here is not all of them look good, but some of them are quite nice. Like this one on the left and the third option, I think are definitely usable iterations of the original file. You can also hit refresh and get new interpretations for this same prompt, or let's do something else such as vibrant synthwave. That might get an interesting different result. And here we go. I think that pink and yellow one, that is a really cool color scheme. So yeah, the second one as well, good option. You can see the prominent colors right there at the top. You can shuffle the colors. That's interesting. I've not tried that before. That's cool. So that's a quick way to generate a new color scheme rather than hitting refresh. You can download the file with the new color scheme applied as well. And yeah, I mean, this is a really cool, handy tool. It's not game changing, like you can kind of do this inside of Adobe Illustrator anyway, but it's going to take you longer. So this definitely saves a ton of time to create variations of an original color scheme. If you're a big fan of artificial intelligence, then make sure to check out this playlist next, which is filled with AI design tutorials as well as tools that will help make your life a lot easier.